Yep, that's my old copper modem. I finally got connected with TELUS Fiber Optic Internet, and overall, the internet speeds have been amazing. But unfortunately, these speeds cannot hide my disappointment when it comes to TELUS. It took over a month and a half for TELUS to finally get me connected, and I had multiple issues with TELUS that really should have never happened in the first place. Now, I will play devil's advocate, and I will point out that making a video today about TELUS's misorganization with their TELUS Fiber Optic is not a fair video when their competition simply sends you a box, you connect the box, you sign up for gigabit internet through Shaw, and you're simply up and running. But the reality is, this is what TELUS is competing against, and when an average consumer does not care about upload speeds, TELUS needs to get a little bit more on top of things if they expect to be the #1 supplier of internet in Western Canada. I mean, a month and a half to wait is ridiculous when my internet was already in the neighborhood. I mean, all TELUS need to do is grab another fiber optic line and simply run it to my house. But even those particular things TELUS had problems with, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. TELUS, you had one job, and that was to sell internet, and you screwed up on that. I was walking around Kingsway Mall after I got my Nintendo switched out for the second time, and I had a TELUS rep approach me and ask if I'd be interested in getting TELUS Fiber Optic. I said yes. They punched my address in and determined that because my address already had a tapped fiber optic line, they would not be able to sell me fiber optic internet. Now, why was my line tapped already? Well, my line was tapped because the people upstairs used the internet and I wanted to get on fiber optic as well. TELUS made no attempt to see if they could get me another fiber optic line ran, so I simply had to leave. I was working the next day and I'm figuring, like, why couldn't they just taken a look into running a second line? So of course I go to a different TELUS location, ask the questions, and they state that they should have looked at the other location if that was possible. So this TELUS location sends the proper messages off and it determines that my address can have another fiber optic line at no cost ran to me. I thought, great, I'll have my internet installed within the next 2 weeks. Ha ha, how funny that was. Alright, it happens to be November 18th. Installer's coming, about to get my internet, and I get an email from TELUS stating that the work that needed to be done on the property has not been done yet. I decided to get in contact with that contract worker because TELUS does not do the work themselves for the line install, and according to the contract worker, the contractor had the date down as the November 24th that the work had to be done by. So unfortunately, TELUS was not able to do the work that day. Alright, it's November 25th, contract worker has the line in the ground, just waiting for TELUS to come and do the install. Oh look, they're here. What's that, TELUS? The line that the contract worker put in the ground is defective? And how long is that going to take to fix? Oh, that's going to take 3 weeks? How awesome. And how are you going to be wiring the house up? Oh, you're going to be using my pre-existing lines inside the house. How great. Yeah, I'm getting a fiber optic installed today. Now, at this point, I almost had enough with TELUS. I actually called TELUS. I threatened them by the end of the year, if they do not have my TELUS fiber optic install, take my contract and completely rip it up. I will continue my services with Shaw and I will sign a new contract with them. Well, weirdly enough, after I called TELUS with that threat, TELUS sent me an email literally 2 days later stating that, yep, the work is now done. We're going to basically be coming to your property on December 22 and we will be doing your install. And luckily, this was actually kind of a blessing in disguise from the second installer, because what ended up happening was that this third installer attempt ended up coming into my house and he did the full fiber optic install straight to the internet box, which was dead center in the middle of the house. The other guy wanted to tap Cat5e connections that were pre-existing, and I really didn't want him to do that in the first place. I even pointed out to the third installer that, oh yeah, these are Cat5e connections that go back to the point of entry. And this third installer is like, we typically do not use pre-existing lines within the house, which basically indicated to me that the second installer that came wanted to half-ass my install. So I wasn't very happy after I discovered that with the third installer. But this third installer looked at the situation inside my house and he determined that he was going to need some help to be able to do the full install. So he came back with a bit of help, and just like that, I had full fiber optic to the exact spot that I wanted. So my conclusion is that TELUS is a very, very fast internet connection that definitely has a lot of future proofing that simply can be done. If you're a fast person that wants the fastest internet on earth, TELUS is the only way that you can go. Shaw can't even hold a candle to what TELUS is capable of doing at this current moment. This is why I believe that Shaw is actually going to be bought out by Rogers at some point, so they do have the capital funds to finally compete with TELUS with this major project. Now with that said, is the wait for doing the install worth it? And for the average consumer, it is not. Like, I don't understand why I have to go through separate locations to finally get my fiber optic fully installed. Why do I need to contact a contract worker to simply ask them why they didn't get the line in the ground, just to find out that the date that TELUS has and the date they have are completely different? Why do I gotta figure out the person that's putting my, my connection in on the second time is gonna half-ass it compared to the third guy who did it? Like, this all comes down to customer service and organization. And it basically, what I mean by that, it all comes down to people inside of the company. It's hard to believe that a multi-billion-dollar company doesn't have this figured out because the wrong people are not in charge. I mean, TELUS, if you're watching this video and you're a person that's high up in the company, reach out to me in a private message. I will tell you who helped me, because these people who helped me at the TELUS store and did my install for the third time, these people need to be promoted into a management position that oversights other people, because the first person that I went to inside that TELUS store for the first attempt that I acquired about internet, she didn't do it right, and she should have went farther with me, and she would have gotten my sale. The person at the other TELUS location that I had to go for the second attempt took me basically to his computer, he entered everything in, he gave me an excellent deal, and that's great customer service. He's knowledgeable, and again, he needs to be promoted. Again, I'm just sounding like a broken record. I should end this, but I just want to stress that certain people are doing their jobs within TELUS and some people are not. Well, a lot of people are not. So anyway, I aired all my frustrations, and if you guys want to air your frustrations towards TELUS, leave me a comment down in the comment box below with your unique TELUS situation, or how you actually may like the company. I want to hear what you guys think about TELUS, and I will try to the best of my ability to respond to every single comment that comes through about this company. If you guys found this video helpful and informational, definitely subscribe to the channel. We do lots of tutorials, we do lots of things with internet, so this is definitely the place where you want to be. Anyway folks, this is Mike signing off from Help Tech Tutorials, and we'll see you guys in the next video.